Hi and welcome to RCKicks. On today's show we have to give some love back to the CC-02 after its long safari yesterday. It's working just, but we need to rip out most of the electronics and put in some new stuff. So that's the plan for this video. I'm going to whack in a new motor because the torque tune motor was cooked. If you haven't seen the running safari video for this car, I'll put a link up here. So we've got a replacement torque tune. The reason I'm putting a torque tune motor in it is purely because of budget. And I was really happy with it anyway. So the reason it cooked itself was because the electronic speed controller was jammed and it wasn't progressive. It was literally just go, stop, go, stop, go, stop. I think I might have a heatsink that I can borrow off another car, just temporary, while I look at ways that I'm going to upgrade this motor to something else. But for now, just swapping it out for another one is fine. I had it lying around, didn't cost me anything. The servo that's in this is a Savox servo, but I don't think it's waterproof. I tried to look it up and I can't find any reference to it being waterproof. So that's amazing that it carried on working even though it was fully submerged in water. So I'll take that out, I'll open it up, make sure everything's okay because it's actually quite a good servo. So I'm going to put in this monster, 46 kg. I'll put some specifications below. This is waterproof. Now this is a bit of an animal for a car like this, but I had it sitting around and I thought, why not? Why not, hey? Put in some power. I have ordered a BEC as well, an external one, to really give this what it needs because this is quite a powerful servo. So I'll give it as much juice as it needs. So that's coming, but that's going to take a while because shipping's obviously because of the whole virus thing that's going on. But the new electronic speed controller I'm going to put in is a Hobby Wing, has a reasonably decent BEC on it anyway, so it will run this okay. It won't burn it out or anything like that, but it just won't run at its full capacity for now. So the idea is to put this. Now these are fantastic, great value, and everybody who's into crawling knows about these, so I won't go on too much about it. I'll put a bit of specifications below, but these are bang for buck, fantastic. So it's getting one of these, but you see the problem I have here is that I need to now solder stuff up. So that's the plan today, is to rip all that out and get this in. Right, that's enough waffling, let's crack on and get it in the car. And I'm obviously going to have to wash and clean everything.
We collide, we break down, caving in to our doubts.
So I have no clue why I decided to drive my 4x4 through water without having any waterproof electronics, but hey, for some reason it seemed like a good idea at the time.
We'll regret. I can see the fire that
Now I'm not sure if I'm going to invest too much in this chassis. I have seen you can get metal axles for this, but they seem to be quite expensive. Let me know in the comments below if you think it's worth me putting a few more mods on this chassis and what kind of mods you'd like to see. Comment below.
we can be heartache together. This is the hard way to better. We can be heartache together. This is the hard way to better.
Now my soldering's pants, so don't copy what I'm doing because you'll probably burn your house down. But it works for me and, well, there you go. Now I'm not sure how much of this electronics is staying in the car, so I didn't cut all the wiring down. I just added to the full length. That way I can take it out of this car, put it in something else and not have to worry too much about cable lengths. Now I know what you're thinking, why am I putting such a bonkers servo in a little tiny 4x4 like this? Well, it's a bit of fun. I had it lying around and it didn't cost me anything, so I'm using the parts that I've got laying around. So they're not ideal and perfect, but they'll do the job and they're fun.
It's a long time ago when I kissed your lips. I can see the fire that we made just to save us when we try to make up for never letting go. Said the things we promised not to say that we break.
Yes, I know it's starting to look like a parts bin car.
Though we know
electronics are in. I just need to test it before I start putting all the cable ties and routing all the cables correctly in case I've made a mistake. So that's the next thing to do.
The purple metal servo horn that I'm using is what I had lying around. It's too long and it actually hits the top of the pumpkin.
Well, she's alive again. Oh, if you turn it on. She's alive again. I've got to calibrate the electronic speed controller because it's just in its default at the moment, but I can crawl quite nicely. So it's a much better upgrade. Also, I dug out a heatsink from another car. It's a bit blingy for this, but it will do for now. The servo upgrade is done. So we're good. So I've got to button it all up, then basically glue the tyres. That's the next thing. And then after that, clean it all up. So we carry on. Well, all the electronics are now in the car and they're working in their basic form. Nothing's been calibrated or anything like that. I've got to do the brake and everything like that for the electronic speed controller, but it's all wired and it's all connected up. And I've also put more water protection around some of the joints to try and keep the water out. So that's another thing. Right, next, oh, I've glued up the tires as well, so they're now drying, so I won't have any problems with the tires anymore. But while they dry, next is to wash and clean the chassis. So that's the next job, and then after that we'll just do the calibration on the programming for the electronic speed controller. Well, there you go, she's all back together again, itching to get back out on the trails, and that's the plan over the next couple of days. Now, with the new Hobbywing electronic speed controller, she should be a bit more responsive, low down, very smooth pulling, which is more like what I'm after. Also, now that I've glued all the tyres, hopefully it won't pop a few rims and it won't rub a bit more, so that problem should go away. Next will be I'm looking at a motor upgrade, but I don't really want to spend the money on the car right now. I've got other projects to work on, so I'll see how the heating problem goes. I put the heat sink on the motor, so hopefully that should help a little bit. So we'll see. I'll keep an eye on it the next time we're out on the trails. One other aspect that I should have done while I was doing this process, but I didn't really think about it until later on after I started putting everything back together again, but what I want to do is fix the axles in this car. Now, when you buy the kit, it actually comes with these little plastic sections that you put into the diffs and it locks the diffs. Going by the kind of driving that I was doing over the last couple of days, I think it's more beneficial to have locked front and rear diff than to leave them as they are now. So that's the plan. Unfortunately, to do that, I've got to take them all to pieces again. So that's quite a bit of an effort. But since it's also been under the water, it's a good time to check the bearings, oil the bearings and things like that as well. Anyway, thanks very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.